It's not often here on the Rich Eisen Show that we talk about the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Play Act, but we're about to because it is a landmark piece of legislation born out of the work of an Alabama tire factory supervisor named Lilly Ledbetter, and the film Lilly is about her, and the person who plays Lilly Ledbetter is here, Patricia Clarkson on the Rich Eisen Show. Good to see you.
Yeah.
We're about to talk about civics. And movies.
Sexy.
Movies.
Sexy civics.
It's the sexiest civics discussion of all time. What a story. You must have had this placed in front of you, and what'd you think when you had this placed in front of you?
I was in London shooting, and I got this offer. I got a call, Patty, from my agent. You've been offered to play Lilly Ledbetter, and my heart leapt. I'm the baby of 5 girls. I was in a family of 5 daughters, raised by a powerhouse of a mother, beautiful father. So you can imagine how important Lilly Ledbetter is. We're all working women, all my sisters. They're remarkable people. You can imagine how high up on the scale Lilly Ledbetter is. And so when I was offered the part, I couldn't contain myself. I stepped out on my little London balcony and wanted to scream and shout. And the first call I made was to my mother. And she started crying.
No kidding.
Yeah. And she said, "Oh, Patty, you're going to make a movie finally that everybody can see."
What does that mean now?
Well, I've played some rather racy characters. You know, I keep my clothes on. I played. Look, I did Sharp Objects. I played a woman who poisoned her children. I was finally playing a true American hero. I was playing a woman that is a great American, and that's the beauty of this story. Lilly is all of us. She's everyone, from the north to the south, the east to the west. Whether you're black or white or brown or gay or straight, she's all of us. Injustice is injustice, and she fought it for a decade. And she was on the ropes, rope-a-dope. She was fighting like hell to not give up. She suffered a lot of defeats, you'll see in the film. And that's what's so surprising when people see this movie. It's almost like being at a wrestling mat. People are screaming and shouting in the middle of my film, and so excited when she gets these victories, and they're few and far between.
Well, I mean, you've been in of your vast filmography, you have been in a movie before where we know the result, we know the ending, Miracle, right? And where I'm on the edge of my seat, kind of know, spoiler alert, what happens at the very end.
Yeah.
We know what happens at the very end here as well, but her journey on demanding that there is some way, shape, or form to level the playing field for somebody who is being discriminated by paycheck, to make sure that all of the past paychecks that have been racking up the indignities of discrimination can actually be put in someone's pocket. You're watching this entire thing play out. You know what's going to happen, but you're on the edge of your seat, which is what makes a good movie.
I don't think anyone knew the rather tortured journey she had to take and the defeats she suffered and got back up.
Right.
But she also had a remarkable husband, Charles, played by the great John Benjamin Hickey, who was the wind beneath her wings. And, often these people who rise, it's sometimes the person behind the scenes. And he really was so supportive for her to keep fighting, because can you imagine, she was working these brutal shifts at this factory, giving up valuable time with her family, working overnight shifts, and being paid 40% less for years and years and years. And a very good citizen dropped a note in her locker, and boom, she was off to the races. So,
well, I'm glad you were able to share the moment that you knew you were getting the gig with your mom. Lilly Ledbetter passed away last year.
Yes.
Were you able to use her as a resource during the filming or before?
I'll tell you, I work in an interesting way. Because I had her so high on a pedestal, I had to. You can't play someone from on high. You have to. I'm going to get a little actory here.
You go for it. You go for it, Patricia Clarkson. You go for it.
But I'm not annoying. I do it on my own. And so I had to put her feet on the ground, and I said, Lilly, I'm going to get to know you. I'm going to meet you after. I'm going to meet you. So she got excited. She said, oh, well, we'll get together after you finish shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had this big premiere at the Hamptons Film Festival, and she was supposed to come, and we were going to meet, and she got quite sick, and she passed. So, but she knew the film. She had seen the film. She loved the film. She was very complimentary to me. She knew the film brought the house down in the Hamptons, our first big public screening. And it brought the house down. And she died knowing that. So I'm thankful for that.
And it's in theaters next week, May 9th. Lilly, available exclusively and obviously based on a true story starring Patricia Clarkson. In terms of somebody from, I guess, the Gulf South that is going against all odds, you grew up a Saints fan? Is that a way to set this up? Or
I
no?
love the Saints.
Okay.
Yes, I don't watch all sports.
Because you're from New Orleans, right?
I'm born and raised in New Orleans. My whole family lives there. My mother ran the city. So my mother was president of the city council. Helped rebuild the city after Katrina with the great mayor Mitch Landrieu. Yeah.
So she must have been there the night that everything reopened, right? When the Superdome reopened, she must have been there.
She was there. She never left the city, even during during Katrina. My mother never left with the police chief. My mother, why do you think Lilly, my mother,
they're both
now. These remarkable human beings
we're connecting dots
that rule the world and change the world.
So then
they're
your
citizens.
Your whole family must be Saints
My whole family
fans.
still lives there. I have a niece who lives in New York. I have another niece and one sister that live in Kansas. But much of my family still resides there, and they go to every single Saints game.
Did you used to have an accent or something?
I do, sort of. If we had bourbon together.
Because I was telling you beforehand that I'm from Staten Island. Like bourbon doesn't bring it out of me. Cutting me off in traffic brings the New York accent off.
But New Orleans and New York are kind of kissing cousins. They're sister cities, and so I live in New York now, but I am a real New Orleanian. My heart and soul is there, and I love. Drew Brees. God, who didn't love Drew Brees? Oh, my God, he's such an amazing man. He was such an ambassador for our city.
Right.
Really helped save the city. Sean Payton. The Saints really delivered.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that moment when the Superdome reopened, that's still memorialized by a statue outside of the stadium of Steve Gleason, who blocked the punt and now obviously represents so much else in the fight against ALS. It's just... and we were just there for the Super Bowl. The city was
and
awesome.
The city was. We had just had a horrific, moment in this incident
on Bourbon Street.
And yet, the city pulled it together and had one of the amazing. It's an amazing city. You want to eat there, you want to drink there, you want to have fun there. It's a beautiful city.
Well, let's stroll down another lane here, some memory lane. It's time for Celebrity True or False with you, Patricia Clarkson. It's fine.
You don't want to talk Miracle?
Can
I tell you something that you might not know about Miracle?
Please do.
So on the night of the premiere of Miracle in 2004, we gathered a huge auditorium. It was packed to the rafters. Celebrities. We were, debuting the film. Kurt Russell, all the, the players in the show. Herb Brooks had died, remember, many months before. Not that many, maybe 5, 6. Patty Brooks was there, whom I play. And the movie plays, and everyone's going crazy, and a curtain drops. It still brings tears to my eyes. And when, after the movie ended, the curtain dropped. And suddenly, the curtain rose again, and every single player on the team was standing there. The past players, the real ones, were on the stage in their jackets, in their medals.
No way. I didn't know that. Jim Craig, Eruzione, all of them.
All of them. In their jackets, in their medals, standing there in a tribute to Herb Brooks. Everybody, my brother-in-law, who's a hockey fanatic, played for Providence College. Billy Crystal behind me, everybody's sobbing. Yeah. It was one of the most beautiful moments I've ever witnessed at a premiere and a movie premiere. But it was so powerful and beautiful.
Yeah, because and again, that movie, like I mentioned before, we know how it's going to turn out.
Yes,
but I'm still on the edge of my seat. And we, my wife and I show it to our kids who,
yeah.
weren't
Yeah,
alive
yeah.
then, just to let them understand. And the thing that, that they really couldn't compute is that it wasn't shown live to the United States of America.
No, it wasn't.
That it was tape delayed and shown later. And I'm like, well, we had to turn off the radio or television to make sure that we didn't know the result when we watched it. And obviously what it meant at the time. It's a beautiful movie, Patricia.
But this
it's
moment,
awesome.
If you weren't there, a lot of people didn't know this,
and
this
they're right
tribute.
there.
And they were all, and they still looked amazing.
Yeah.
They were beautiful, these men. Now quite much older.
Sure.
And they're, it was
medals.
a remarkable moment.
I love it. All right, here we go. Celebrity True or False with Patricia Clarkson. Hit it.
Celebrity True or False?
You can't handle the truth.
All right, true or false, Patricia Clarkson. You were classmates at Yale Drama School with John Turturro, Chris Noth, Courtney B. Vance, and Angela Bassett.
True.
Were you there for their courtship, the last two? Were you there?
No, they got together later, Courtney Vance and Angie. They got together later. They weren't together at Yale.
Okay. Were you all in a production together at one point?
Well, we were all in different years.
Okay.
I was a little younger than John Turturro and Angie.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm a little older than Courtney B. Vance.
Okay.
But not much. No, we were in the three, first year, second year, third year. So I was second year when that was all happening.
Okay. So you've known them for quite some time.
I've known them quite some time.
Have you worked with any of them since then? Or no, not really?
Well, I did some crazy stuff with them.
On stage?
On stage with Courtney B. Vance.
We need to finish that sentence.
Yes.
Okay.
No. No, they're
Right.
No. They're fabulous people. Fabulous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, true or false? You were told to wear no makeup and a peasant dress for your Untouchables audition with Kevin Costner to look less glamorous.
Yes.
Why?
Well, Lynn Stallmaster, the great Lynn Stallmaster, I went in first with him, and he said, "I think Brian would like you, but I'm Southern. I had, my hair and lipstick, and
De Palma, you're referring to the director.
And
huh?
I went in looking hot, and he said, "No, come back. I want you to meet De Palma, but look, don't wear any makeup and wear like a dress that ties in the, like a poofy dress, like a Little House on the Prairie dress." And I came back, and Brian, there was a reader there, but Brian read with me. And he, right then and there, he said, "I like you." He said, "You look all sweet, but your voice isn't."
Okay. So you knew you
And
got
he said,
the gig?
"I like the juxtaposition." And then the next thing I knew, I flew to Chicago to meet Kevin, and that's how I got the
The
part.
Chicago
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
You got a good Sean Connery story.
Oh, Sean Connery. Well, I mean, he was so beautiful, and at the premiere, he made my mother's life, because he came up to my mother. He was flirting with my mother at the premiere, and my mother still dines out on that. Okay.
He was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this was many years ago. So,
Yeah, well, this is James Bond.
Yeah,
It's coming up as well as just one of the all-time greats. Next up, true or false? Each morning on the set of Good Night and Good Luck, director George Clooney, who I believe just got a Tony nomination
Yes, he
for
did.
playing Edward R. Murrow on Broadway now, he would give the actors a newspaper from 1953 and then simulate an actual newsroom where the cast members, would have to pitch ideas. Is that true?
Yes, we did. He was very authentic. And, George is a remarkable man in that he's a true egalitarian. He sees everyone across the board on an incredibly equal plane. And it was a beautiful set. It was a very improvisational set. It was a very, we were all one, everybody, whether you were on the cast or the crew, we all came together. And he loved having a kind of, he did that more with some of the guys in the cast.
Like Robert Downey, who's on the screen with you right here.
But the spirit that was so alive on that set every single day, we all came to work every single day. And it was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had as an actor on that set with George, because it all starts at the top. It all starts at the top.
To recreate the scene.
Just to recreate, but it was just a wonderful set.
Have you been able to see it on Broadway yet?
No, I will go.
My wife and I saw it 2 weeks ago. It's amazing.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is. It's quite visually striking and moving. He's well deserved on what he got. 2 more for you. Patricia Clarkson, celebrity, true or false? True or false, you were petrified while filming the elevator shootout in the Deadpool and were comforted by Clint Eastwood.
Oh, my God.
In the final Dirty Harry movie.
I cannot believe you're bringing me back to that moment.
So this is true then.
Trauma. Is there bourbon here? No.
Yes, there is. Actually, there is.
No.
I think McConaughey's bourbon is here.
They did not warn us. So first of all, here I am shooting with Clint Eastwood.
In a Dirty Harry movie.
In a Dirty Harry movie. I'm 27 or 28. He's cast me off tape, but I got to know him. Clint was lovely to me, just absolutely lovely. But still, this was a brutal scene. And the fake bullets that were coming at that elevator were, I kept thinking, I am going to die. I thought they would pierce, because it's a phony elevator. It's not a real one. And it's been built. And I'm not a scaredy cat. I was raised by, I have 5 girls.
You're from New Orleans.
I'm from New Orleans. Come on. So, I shout, throw me something, mister, and I'll fight anybody for a doubloon. But I just couldn't believe the barrage of bullets and the sound and the volume and the how much I just kept thinking. So Clint kind of got on top of me because he knew I was petrified. It was kind of nice.
So you went from petrified to say shoot
it's
some
kind
more.
of like, this is kind of nice.
Shooting a shot. I had no idea. Okay. Now that's what we call a backstory. All right. Last one for you, Patricia Clarkson. True or false? You in Friends with Benefits, you saw Justin Timberlake in the buff while shooting.
Oh, whoa.
Your current look means this is true. Is this true?
Yes, I had the privilege. Well, it just was a circumstance, and yes,
Okay.
he's a lovely man.
Yes.
From the neck up, also. He is. Look, he's brilliant. He's a brilliant man. He's a brilliant musician. I really admire him tremendously. But yes, I have seen a lot of him.
You have indeed. So you can confirm this actually happened.
Oh, I did.
All right. Listen, hey, you're a professional and these things happen. Yes.
The perks.
They exist. Before I let you go, do you have just taking a stab here, you got a good Robin Williams story from Jumanji? Or you really didn't
remember I played him his mother
of the kid.
And I played him I played his mother when he was 5,
right.
So I didn't really get to know him, but I knew everybody who was working on the movie at the time just was in love with him. Really. Everybody was in love with him.
Yeah, I just took a stab. I just said no because I
wish I had known him. He was a genius.
Obviously, when somebody's in the same cast as somebody, you're assuming that there has been some sort of.
Yes.
But you shoot in a certain day and somebody's not there or whatever. Yeah. I get it. So Lilly is available exclusively in theaters next week on May 9th. Everybody, check it out. This has been a pleasure. Come on back whenever you're around.
You made so many people in my life so much happier.
Oh,
that I'm on your show.
Is that right?
Yes.
Should we give any specific shout outs? Any by name or just the whole family?
Just all my nephews that play hockey. They
Okay, hockey for sure. Or Go Saints,
Yeah.
Geaux, obviously. That's the way you spell it.
Yes.
Thanks for coming here.
Thank you so much.
Patricia Clarkson here on The Rich Eisen Show. Catch The Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.